Guys, it is time for Overcoming Hurdles, and today we're hearing how those hurdles helped our next guest reach his sports career goals. Damon Sheehy-Guiseppi went from being homeless and low on money to scoring a touchdown with the Cleveland Browns and then transitioning to the UFL. The Arlington Renegades wide receiver is here this morning to share his story and how success can look different for us all. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
So glad to have you here. Damon, you've had many hurdles in your life and you did not let them stop you. Let's start with your college career. You tried out for the football team at a junior college. What made you decide you wanted to play the game but also to take it seriously?
I decided when I was going to junior college, I did a walk-on class to play basketball, and I ended up not making the basketball team, and I was working out a lot, and I just really wanted to be a football player when I was younger. And when I played Pop Warner, it was one of my funnest sports, so I was like, let me give it a try again, and went to a couple of junior college tryouts and ended up transferring to another junior college to play football over there.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about after college ended. You faced a couple of hurdles there. Can you tell us a little bit about that time in your life?
Yeah, so after junior college, I finished as an All-American, and I was just trying to go anywhere to play ball. After becoming a unanimous All-American, I thought I was going to be able to get offers and go to school and get a chance to play ball somewhere, and it never ended up working out. And that's when I just started going to all professional tryouts, CFL, arena football tryouts, NFL tryouts, and I just started traveling across the country going to different tryouts.
My gosh, I can only imagine just the toll that takes on your body, one as an athlete, because you have to keep up with your eating and working out and all the things. So constantly moving around, I'm sure, is difficult. But things turned around for you when you made that connection to go try out for an NFL team. And so tell us a little bit about that journey and what you went through.
So that journey is, I got an address. Someone was telling me because I was going everywhere just playing football, flag football. And someone told me about a tryout in Florida. And I lived in Arizona, so I had to get all the way to Florida, go to the tryout, stay outside from the tryout where the location was, going in there, not knowing anybody, just information of who's hosting the tryout, and just going in with as much confidence in the world and showing up and performing as best as I can, and just sleeping outside there and just waiting for it the next day, and then got the call back. So I was still in Florida waiting for Cleveland to call me again, and I was out in Florida for a week just sleeping outside, and then Cleveland ended up calling me again, and I had to try it again in Cleveland, and everything went well when the trial happened with the NFL, and that was it's just crazy because that was the only tryout that ended up working out for me, and I went to a whole bunch of tryouts, and that's the one that ended up working out the best.
That's the one that stuck. Can I ask you, because as I'm listening to your story, I'm not only hearing a story about homelessness, but I'm also hearing a story about isolation, and I think a lot of people go through that. So tell me how you stay maintained. How do you stay focused while sleeping outside, but also chasing your dreams?
The one thing is just having a dream and a vision, and however you have to get there, just keeping the main thing the main thing. So no matter what I go through or what anyone goes through, I always make sure I keep the main thing, and however it looks to get there, it doesn't really bother me. If we have to do certain things to get there, I just make sure it's all, whatever I have to do is get into the greater cause.
Yes, indeed. And you have done just that. I want to get to the positive part of this story, though. What was it like when you put that NFL jersey on for that first time?
Man, it was amazing. The greatest moment was when we got to play in the game. That's when I was the happiest, when I knew it was real. I was in the game, and then I got to get a chance to play and got to get a chance to score a touchdown. So that was probably the most amazing part. That's when I feel the most free throughout the whole journey, is when I get to play.
My goodness. I mean, even just looking at these pictures, you're running alongside OBJ. I mean, this is a whole experience within itself, and not a lot of people can say they have made it as a pro football player. You have now decided to move on to the UFL, and you're here with the Arlington Renegades. So tell me, how does that define your outlook of success? Because I think a lot of times when people hear this story, they say, oh, okay, well, he went from the NFL to the UFL, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a downstep.
No, not downstep at all. Actually, UFL is really hard to get into. It's more limited. Not as many players, not as many roster spots. It took me 6 years from the XFL in 2019 and 2020 to get back to this moment right here. It took me 6 years to get back to the UFL, I would say. So it's not easy. So it's very successful. To make it in here, you got to be very fortunate, and timing's got to be on your side, luck, opportunity, and so I'm just blessed to be in the UFL.
Wow, you truly do have an incredible story. I even just feel inspired just talking to you, and I know there are plenty of people at home who feel the same way. So do you have any advice for people who are wanting to enter the football system, or even someone who maybe is going through a hard time right now? Any advice for them?
Advice for them is, I would say, just focus on the positive, and if you got a goal, no matter what you're going through now, make sure you're waking up every day, heading towards your goal. It doesn't matter how it looks. Just as long as you wake up and get 1% better towards your goal, I'd say just go for it and keep the vision and be optimistic and just have that dream and keep going. No matter how it
Yes.
looks, just keep going because anything's possible.
Keep that drive going. Yes, indeed. And you did just that. Damon, thank you so much for joining us this morning, sharing your story, being vulnerable with us, and also for playing for the Arlington Renegades. We can't wait to see you next season. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And to learn more about the Arlington Renegades and their schedule, just head over to the UFL.com/teams/Arlington.